My vacuum just doesn't do what it used to do. I do love this thing, but look how far it's making it, all right? This is the base. It goes for like 10 minutes now and just stops. I put it back on the charger. Over here, it charges back up. Next day, whatever I have it scheduled for, comes back out, lasts like 10 minutes. So we've got a battery issue is what's going on. This is maybe 3 years old at this point. And, you know, these lithium-ion batteries, they just don't last forever. I have this thing running at least 3 days a week, and then every now and then I send it out on a mission to clean something up. Yeah, I do need to clean this roller out. I've kind of been focusing on the battery, but ew. Let's get back to the battery. So the battery, I'm going to show you what to look for in a battery. You can go on Amazon. You can go call a number here even for the Shark to have them send a battery out, but this is going to be more expensive. On Amazon, you can find cheaper batteries for sure, but you got to be careful. You got to know kind of what you're looking for. And, all right, for purposes of this video, I had to redo that. I plopped this battery back in there to show you guys. And when it's in there like this, it's a little harder to get out. Anyway, they've got these little tabs here. You can just pull the battery out. This unplugs from here by pushing on this side of this tab, and you can just pull these wires out. I had an issue with, this is a panel. I mean, I should have probably started in order, but I think you guys get the idea. You just have to unscrew these 3 screws here. I had an issue with this one. This one the screw just spun, and it was because the plastic here, the actual insert here is all kind of stripped out. So if you guys happen to run into that issue, just use a screwdriver and just kind of put some upward pressure on the screw while you unscrew it. I use this guy here, and it'll come up, no problem. Anyway, you get that off, you get the battery out, and you could look, battery capacity is listed here. Typical capacity 3,000 milliamp hours is what that stands for. So this one's rated though actually at 2,900 milliamp hours. And a lot of the, well, pretty much all of the really inexpensive batteries on Amazon are only 2,600 milliamp hours. That means a battery is not going to last as long in terms of when this thing is actually working and doing its job. I can't remember how long this thing would go for before, maybe like an hour or so. And that's rated with a 2,900 milliamp hour battery. If you have one that's only 2,600 milliamp hour, under the same conditions, maybe it would only last 50 minutes or so. Anyway, less than an hour, less than this battery. And there are other batteries on Amazon that are rated at about 3,200 milliamp hours. And I am going to put them down below. There will be links down below as to the battery that I selected. So that is the first thing that you have to look for in terms of battery. Just don't pick the cheapest battery that you find. So the ones that are rated a little bit higher, you know, at least 2,900 milliamp hours, 2,900 to 3,300 milliamp hours, they're all at about the same price. So I'm going to pick one that I find has the best reviews, and I will put the link to that one down below. I'll do some research for you guys. And then all we have to do is plug this sucker back in, plop it back down, make sure to plop it back down with these tabs facing up so you can get it out easier. If you do put it in the wrong way, don't worry about it. I just took this one out with a screwdriver. It's not that big of a deal. You just got to pry it out. So yeah, I can't wait to get this thing out here again. Yeah, I missed this. It's probably been like 3 weeks without doing its full job. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing the consequences of that. Look at this. Look at this. Ew. All right, let's get this guy back to work. Forgot to mention something pretty important. The model of the battery you're replacing, RVBAT 850, RVBAT 850. Another way to check is that this has 2 wires for the power. You either have 2 or 3. But yeah, this is a massively popular battery for these types of vacuums, so you're going to have no problem finding this one. All right, replacement battery came in a couple days later, and this one, Raptor, I'll have a link to this one down below, came in this nice box here. We've got a screwdriver. This is really nice if you don't happen to have a screwdriver, but I think everybody has a Phillips. But if not, you know, that's fantastic. They give you one. What's in here? I didn't even see this. Oh, little cleaning brush thing. Oh, yeah, by the way, I took this off and cleaned all the hair out of there. This is something else that will really slow down and drain your battery unnecessarily, is if you have tons of hair in here, it's harder to turn this thing, so your vacuum's not going to run nearly as far. And this comes off very easy. I have another video on this, but if I could do this with one hand. That pops off, and then this side just completely comes off, and you can just take the whole thing out like that. And what I did to, this clips with one hand trying to hold this camera. Okay, anyway, got that back down. And then to get the hair off, I actually used like this razor just to cut the hair to get it off, because man, it gets wound up in there. It's hard to get off. But yeah, this brush is nice. Also, and actually I should have used it. Once you take this out, you can brush in all the cracks and crevices and get all of that out. Good idea, again, to maintain this just so it runs more efficiently. Anyway, back to the battery. Yeah, link to this one down below. I picked this one a few reasons. One, it is a slight upgrade. This capacity says 3,000 milliamp hours. The other one had 2,900 milliamp hours. I just made sure that it had enough reviews. This had maybe 300 reviews or so. The more reviews, the better. Also, then I checked to see how many one-star ratings they have. What % of one-star ratings are there? A lot of the batteries, especially the ones that are rated like really high. They have some that are rated 32, 34, 3,600 milliamp hours. I kind of start to question it when they get a little bit too high. But I just want the battery to be reliable. I want it to be at least as strong as this one, and I want it to last a long time. So this one had, I think, maybe 8% one-star reviews, which, you know, it's not a ton different, but, you know, it's different than the ones that have 10 and 12%, that's for sure. So that is why I picked this one. Oh, and then also price. This one had a deal going on, so it was priced even better than some of the other ones. But yeah, I would not pick the super cheap batteries. This one maybe cost me $19, like $18.95, maybe a little bit less. And you can find some for, I think, like $15 or something, but those are only rated at 2,600 milliamp hours, and those are just really cheap. So that is why I picked this one. To put this back in, if I can do this with just one hand. All right, success. Oh, and then also, you know, it says RV Bats 850. That is a replacement. And then, yeah, make sure when you put this in, put it with these tabs up here so you can get it out more easily. We are back in business. Yay.